Welcome to my hood.
Just received an
It's the Think High crew. Yeah.
just received an
Yeah. It's the Think High crew. What up?
just received
Yeah.
an
It's the Think High crew. You know.
just received an
It's the Think High crew. What up? It's the Think High crew. Yeah. It's the Think High crew. Yeah. Welcome to my hood. There ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal.
Yeah,
If you scared of dying, we got something for you.
something for you.
Open up the door, you can be immortal.
Open up the door, you can be immortal.
Grand Rising gods, goddesses.
What's up? What's up? What's up, people?
My nigga Matt say, Jason, I'll never doubt you again. You called it early. I'm trying to text that girl back, Matt. Let her know you ain't get kidnapped or something.
Shit, I stay away from that one. Man,
Okay, good. He said, oh, I did, good. Yeah, let her know you all right. Like, my bad, I ain't mean to do you like that, baby, but you know what I'm saying? Money had to go, you know what I'm saying? Tell you had to get a bag to change or something. But nah, I knew that shit. As soon as you was like, yo, I'm going to a gamer bar, they don't even have gamer bars everywhere, nigga. They only have gamer bars in places where there's nerds and gamers and shit at. Like, I've never been, well, I'm from Ohio, so I've never seen a gamer bar. So that's good shout out to you for even going through that experience. That's what y'all play.
they got multiple gamer bars.
They do?
Yo, so what's up? Oh yeah, so I was just going to tell everybody what's up. It's a Mindful Monday, and we're talking
Hey.
about some shit that happened over the weekend.
Over the weekend,
and,
my bad, some inside shit.
and it's real hilarious and real. It's a good WTF. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, we can talk. We can save it for
Ooh.
Wednesday for sure.
No, I'm
That
just
point
saying,
matters.
just in general.
Oh yeah,
It's a
it
good
is a what the
WTF.
fuck. It is a what the fuck for sure. That was
2 hours.
I felt like I was. Huh?
2 hours into knowing somebody, you all up in everything they got. Wow. I'm talking about every which way to get there too. You
I
all the
was
way
so
in there.
invested in his story yesterday. Like I felt like I was there with him. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I was so invested. That's how they get away with
Hey.
it. That's how they do that shit for entertainment too. They
What
make
about
that shit.
this though?
Huh.
What about the phone call? As soon as, because I was like, you know what? I said she might be in there trying to like give you a hint to leave, right? And he was like, I thought about it for a second. He was like, you know what? I just said hell with he called us when he dipped. He was like, I did it. I dipped. I did it. I ain't even got my shoes on. He was like, I ran out there. I was stepping on the rocks with my bare feet. I'm out of there. I'm done.
Long
And you
story
can hear it in
short,
his voice. You can hear it in his voice. He had probably sat there for about a couple of minutes thinking about it. Like, damn, how do I fucking just leave, or what do I do? Just like walk out slowly, fast? Do I just jump
hey,
out
that's
the
a
window?
good
What do I
question.
do?
That's a good question. We can start the Mindful Mindset Monday with. But long story short, our homie Matt, went on a date with a gamer chick, and he never, experienced that life. And I tried to tell him like, "Oh, gamer chicks are freaks. You're gonna have a great time." And he did. He had a great time, even though he had to get up out of there. Sometimes you do, So that's the question I want to propose everybody for Mindset Mindfulness Monday is: what do you do? Do you when you meet somebody and you get invited to their house later that night? After a good date, do you leave when they spend a couple hours in the bathroom? Is that your cue? Was that her cue telling him, "Hey, get the fuck out. Thanks for a great time"?
right?
or what do you do?
And then
Mindset Mindfulness Monday.
the next one would be if somebody tells you you don't need a condom, and then you tell them, yeah, I do. And then when you leave, they tell you, oh, the condom thing was just a trick. You passed
You
it.
passed the test.
Or a test. I'm sorry, not a trick, a test. You passed the no condom test. I'm like, man, get out of here. Man, what you trying to do? Save face? Yes.
She was a freak. That's all. It's
Oh
okay,
my
baby.
God,
If you
bro.
a freak, you a freak. You know what I'm saying? It's all right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But yeah, here
Ain't nothing
we
wrong
are
with
with
it.
another Mindset Mindfulness Monday. How you doing, Megawatt? What up, T? How y'all doing?
What up? What up?
Grand Rising. Oh, T, you ain't speaking today. You at work? My lighter don't work. God damn, I've been trying to flick this thing for the last 10 minutes. Oh, there she go. Hey. But yeah, we could get it cracking. If you want to know, if I can start with some numbers and then we can get into some mindset mindfulness on I know you had a few topics. I don't know if Megawatt, if you had some topics. I had a bunch of shit because my brain was everywhere throughout the weekend. Experienced a little bit of everything. Uh no, no. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, I'm here, my bad.
Yeah, had you
I
think
didn't
okay,
hear you
yeah,
though. What'd you say?
Oh,
So
I
I
was
know
just
you
saying we
said
can
getting into the numbers and
yeah, we can get into some numbers unless you had some
no, I was gonna say, how about we do the astrology first? Because Megawatt says she only had about
oh
10
okay.
minutes or so.
Okay, no
What's
doubt.
up,
Well yeah,
Megawatt? How you
What
doing
up?
today?
What up? What up? I'm still kicking this sickness. I don't know what this is, but y'all, it's terrible. So,
Mm.
hey, I'm so sorry.
That's
We
called
all went
life,
through it.
sickness of life.
Shit. Yeah, we all recently went through that shit, man. Everybody been
yeah,
down. I'm
it like got better and then it got worse, and so
yeah.
I don't know what
It
is going
circles
on.
back. I try to tell
Yeah.
everybody, like once you think you kicked it, it circles back. I don't know what the fuck it was though. But it got everybody in my house. I'm glad you're on the road to recovery though, but it does suck.
I'm not sure where I am, but I'll let you know when I figure that out. So, um, so we do have some interesting astrology for today and kind of going forward. We have the sun has moved into Aquarius and brought with it Pisces, or I'm sorry, not Pisces. What am I saying? Pluto. So yesterday it stationed direct at 0 degrees in Aquarius. And that is like for the USA's natal Pluto return, that just means that like some of the stuff that's been going on that we've been seeing that's a little bit on the crazy side, fighting war, disruptiveness and market instability, that's really going to start to kind of come either into focus really full scale, or it's going to kind of start to subside and go by the wayside. So um, we'll start to have the really bumpy rest of the part of the year, especially with Uranus also stationing direct in Taurus as well. So we've had some. All planets are currently direct.
Uranus,
So
Taurus. Does that mean
yeah,
bullshit season? I'm
sure does.
sorry. I just
So it kind of means that both those planets had taken a detour, and they kind of were off their course, and now they're kind of back on track. So yeah, all
okay,
things
gotcha.
are going to move forward, but I can't say that it's going to necessarily be in the direction or the way that you might have hoped that they will. So just be careful that you know what your direction is going to be, and that you're focused on that, because it can easily distract you and get you off your path. The moon is in Virgo, and with that, it's making a grand trine in Earth. So it is asking you
And
to
what's a grand
focus in
trine
on
look
what
like?
your a grand trine is a perfect triangle, and it's got on all ends it has a planet in that same sign. So we're
Mm-hmm.
in Earth. So we have a planet which is Uranus in Taurus. We have the moon which is in Virgo,
Uh-huh.
and then we also have
And,
Mercury and Mars in Capricorn, which is the other
and
Earth sign.
and that makes a perfect triangle between
Perfect
those.
triangle, which is a
Okay.
trine. those patterns are rare in birth charts. They're more common. You see them throughout natal, like not the United States is going to have them more often than a person will.
Okay.
Basically,
More
they're
of
I
a
got a
global thing.
question.
yes. Hmm.
I got a dumb question. Is there a such thing as a not perfect triangle?
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
call
there
them
are.
what,
Hmm.
obtuse triangles or acute triangles, where there's
That would be in astrology. That would be a yod.
oh, okay.
It's a thin, long triangle where one point is more highlighted than the other two.
Right. There's like with the perfect triangle.
Well, I was just wondering, like, is there a specific like measurement size of triangle, like the,
Well,
you
yeah,
know what I'm
when all of
saying,
the
or
angles are exactly the same, like
Yeah, they
the
have to
angles
be exact.
between,
Hmm.
yeah, when all of the angles are exactly the same, they call that it. I just remember it from geometry and math class. They use some of the similar terms,
Hmm.
but they're kind of different, but they use similar terms. I just remember in fucking goddamn math class, the perfect triangle was all of the angles inside of the triangle were the same measurement, so it doesn't
Hmm.
matter how big or small the triangle
right?
was
That's
or
what I'm
what.
saying.
Right.
So isn't that just a triangle, though?
It
Yeah, I
is,
guess
but
so. Yeah.
it's rare. It doesn't
That's why
But
I
it's
happen.
said this is a
perfect.
dumb question.
Nah, but it's a perfect
Because
triangle
like
because
I
I
can
get
see
you.
what you're saying, like two long lines and then a
Yeah, yeah,
short
yeah,
line
yeah.
at the bottom makes a triangle, whatever. But that ain't a triangle to me. That's like a goddamn spear or some
Yeah, they
shit.
It is. That's still a
yeah, they
triangle.
would
It's just
call
not
it
a
like an
perfect triangle.
obtuse triangle because like one angle would
Hmm.
be bigger than the other two, or an acute
Right.
triangle where two of the other angles are smaller. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. It is weird. I get, and that's not really a stupid question. It's almost like is water wet? I mean, that's just like an argument everybody would fucking have. Like I guess
Yeah.
that's
Oh, and thinking about water, I can't. I got a good idea, and anybody can hear this because it's probably not that great of an idea, but it might be. So I was thinking about this. Okay. So what if I was to take a dehumidifier and get my drinking water out of the air? I can take a dehumidifier, set it in my house, suck water into the tank. It's a gallon tank. Take that, pour it through a filtration
facts.
system if I wanted to. And so, just for a maybe a fuck around, find out Tuesday or mindful Monday today, if anybody knows, would it have what I need to survive off water, or would I need to put trace minerals in it, or would that just be totally fucking bogus?
That's a good question.
Because
I
I was
think it
thinking
would
about that
have.
shit the other day, and I was like,
Hmm.
man,
I think it
what's
would
going
have
on?
whatever that. I think it would have whatever the air has in it.
Yeah,
So
that's what I
the
would
Right, but
question you
if you
have
assume.
to
ran it
ask
through
yourself.
filters, though, if you ran it
Oh,
through, like a filtration system, then what would it be? Would it be water? Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
It
because this
would.
thing is gonna change state,
Yeah. Would it?
and then you filter
Would it
it,
be
and then
alkaline? Would it be acidic?
I don't
Would
yeah,
know.
would
it
it be
We'd
like
have to
too
be?
test it.
acidic? It's too bad for you, or would it be just
Would
right,
it
or
be
what?
just like
I don't
city
know. So
water?
maybe
Might
that's a
as well
good
be city water. You know what I mean? Like that's
air water.
but sorry, megawatt. We
Air water.
sorry, we blow.
No, you're fine. I just want to focus on. It's a good time to make your list, keep your head down, and work towards your goals. Because Mars, in the grand trine that we're talking about, Mars and Mercury are on one point of it, and both of those are very favorable planets to work with in this capacity. So it's a good time to talk with other people about your goals, get people on board to help you, and figure out what needs to be done, especially with all planets direct. You're going to have that energy from now until mid-ish April, I want to say. So this is like the time to really put the pedal to the metal, basically. There's also a kite formation in the natal chart, for the United States too. So that's going to bring a lot of directed energy, and it's also kind of got the moon as the base point for it. So if you want to, deal with any emotional issues that you have coming up, it's a good time to schedule counseling, get with your astrologer, or talk about or work through problems that you might be having with challenges, that's anything that's challenging you right now. So um also people are going to be super aggro about doing what you said you would do. So if you tell someone that you're going to do something, this is like the time to do that so that you don't have to have arguments and discussions with people about things that you said you would do that you didn't do.
Or vice versa, huh?
Hmm.
People telling you shit that they gonna do and ain't did it.
Exactly. So that's kind of how I would put things. This is going to be a very bumpy year. So the times when it feels like it's nothing's going on, that's really the time to focus on what you need to focus on, because there's going to be times when things are going to come up and you're not going to have that time or that attention span to devote to it. So,
Mm. And that makes a lot of sense because if you talk about today being January the 29th, 2024, in the numerology, it's a 2. And if I were to just alley oop from what Megawatt was just saying, cooperation and diplomatic reasoning in relationships are going to be effective today. So, as she was saying, I could, what you would say, back that up with the numbers and say that teamwork will be more likely to get the job done than an individual effort. And expect new or more attention on improving the relationships, which makes sense. I mean, if you were to get into detail, it would be more of what Megawatt said, as in, stay having that balance in the relationship. Also, being a 2, energy should be the 2's energy would be less intense than yesterday's 1 energy, but that doesn't mean that there won't be any challenges, as Megawatt was saying. A 2-day has a lot to offer. Its energy is usually harmonious because it wants to balance out, but 2 is the number of duality, so that balance may not fit your perspective, because perspectives are normally fit around unbalanced shit because it's more of what we want than what we need, or more of what we see things as instead of what the reality is. So for every every positive quality, there's also a negative one, and some of us feel negative is a bad thing. They think it as bad. But I try to think it as like light and dark, the absence of each other, you know what I mean? So negative is just the absence of the positive. But anyways, and they have to balance things, or things will get out of hand. Like Megawatt was saying, it can get out of hand if you don't do, or if you do too much of. Um, and the best way to figure it out is to apply this to your own, your own personal cycle number. Obviously, that always takes precedence, and then blend that with the energy of the 2, um, to get what you would need to do to, I guess you would say, to have a pleasant experience. It's a good day for teamwork and creativity, self-expression as well. Um, Fits right along with what Megawatt was saying with the perfect triangle in the god dang kite in the sky of our planets. Any self-expression is probably going to be fulfilled with symmetry and grace today. And interactions with others has the potential to be very harmonious, indeed, at harmonious at the least, until things get unbalanced. So when it's unbalanced, when like I was just talking about, somebody tells you something that they're going to do and then they haven't done it, you know what I mean? So that will be an example of something being unbalanced, or the other way around. So be on the lookout for jealousy, bitterness, and general whininess from others, and take steps to ensure that you don't fall prey to the same thing. Overall, the day should go fairly smoothly though, but it won't be any on the exciting or pretty much on the dull side, or just be pretty much just sticking to what you need to do for you. And if it doesn't, wait and see what wait and see if it was just a fleeting thing before you write someone off completely. So yeah, so basically, you know what I mean, today might be the day. Or if you're in love, or you think you're in love with a chick, go ahead and jack off real quick, and then see if it was just you needing to bust a nut. That goes for women as well. And don't
If
write
you
things
if
off
you don't
completely.
if you don't despise the person after you get done, you might
Right.
you might want to call them. If you despise them, just go ahead and delete the whole
I'm
shit.
sorry, y'all. I'm in a great mood today.
But that, you
As
know
you can
what, that
see.
rolls right into. I'm glad. I didn't know if Matt was going to be on today or not, but we just busted his head wide open with a literally just like a false statement. You got people thinking that he went to some gamer chick. Like, look how we do, right? He
Right,
went to
right,
some
right.
gamer chick's house last night and did all kind of crazy shit. And he's texting me right now. What are y'all talking about? What the hell y'all talking about? I was just seeing if he was listening, bro. But
I'm fucking dead.
yeah, that's hilarious, man. That
I'm
if
dead.
that story, hey, look, the thing about it is don't think about that too much because that story might manifest.
Right. Well, it's just real life, man. I'm glad he had a great time. You know what I mean? We all know what Matt's been through recently, and now he's out amongst the general population of the world. So I'm happy to see him doing his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just great because I was invested in last night as much as he was, that's how you know you got love for people. You know what I mean? Because with something going on in their life, you're like trying to watch it play by play, and you're like, bro, what's happening? You need some help, some assistance? You all right over there? Go ahead, send me
Right.
your drop a pin to make sure you all right. Let me see your location. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
definitely a
where
dope
are you?
weekend. The
Red
conspiracy
team
theorists.
go. Red
Uh,
team go.
the conspiracy theorists lost one this weekend though, because it's supposed to be the Ravens were supposed to win this weekend, and the Niners were supposed to win. Well, the Niners did win,
Niners
but
won.
obviously, you know,
Ravens. Ravens were fucking horrible.
the Swifties put a spell
And the thing
on Lamar
is
Jackson.
the thing is this is like so the Chiefs didn't even really beat them by that much either.
No, you can say Baltimore lost the game more than the Chiefs won the game.
Right. Exactly.
You can really
Exactly.
say that, but that that's just a side note. But just something to be mindful of. The conspiracy theorists were wrong, so you guys, had all of this shit planned out about how they pick the winners, and this is what they're gonna do, and maybe it's not
And
scripted. Maybe
somebody,
you guys
hey,
do it a plan.
one thing I guarantee you is the people behind that initial theory, they got paid.
Oh yeah, because we've been learning that even and it's something to be mindful of. Something before you get into, because I know your topic has to do a lot with the energy and what a megawatt was talking about around war and shit like that. So we'll definitely get into that. We'll start with a light jog, but we've been figuring out that even these powers that be use conspiracy theories in their favor. You know what I mean? All right, so look, this is what I fucked around and found out. So just on a lighter note, I mean, not really fucked around and found out. I guess you want to say something that I knew already, and I just wanted to be more mindful of. I guess well, gain more knowledge to be more mindful of. But did y'all know McDonald's ice cream machines, right? You know the conspiracy about them all being broke. I'm not even gonna say theory because it's not even a theory no more. It's been proven as a real conspiracy. Y'all familiar with that, right? Um,
The
well,
McFlurry machine?
yeah,
Yeah.
just the ice cream machines is like fifteen
Yeah, but I'm just
percent.
saying, just you
Yeah,
go. I'm sorry, I stumbled on my own self. You go to try to get you a McFlurry, and every time that bitch is
the,
shut
the ice cream
down,
machine is
out
down,
of
right?
order.
So
Yep.
there's an ice cream machine company that, well, so like if you were to be a franchise owner of a McDonald's, right? There's a specific ice cream machine that they have you buy, and it comes from I can't remember the name of the fucking company. Taylor, thank you, baby. She was talking to
Oh,
my wife.
Taylor, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. We know all
wait,
about Taylor, don't we?
wait. Oh my
Jeez.
God, no, you just fucked me up. But that is the name of the fucking that is the name of the company. The company's named Taylor. And so if you own a McDonald's, you have to buy this machine, the ice cream machine made by Taylor. So there's been a lot of research done, and there's this one in particular independent journalist that I follow, and this dude is fucking awesome. I love him because he just finds the weirdest shit, but he'll give you all of the true facts about it. So either way, you know what I mean. There was a lawsuit going on because there was a company. I can't remember the name of this other company, but they created a device, right, that could fix the machine, or that could tell McDonald's franchise owners, what's wrong with the machine without having to go do the maintenance. The reason why they created this device was because that company did research, similar to what this guy did, and found out that McDonald's was basically and Taylor were basically running a repair racket. Y'all know what a racket is, right? But they were running a repair racket. They were running so basically these machines made by Taylor were purposely designed to break a lot. That's why 50%, 15% of all McDonald's across the United States of America ice cream machines are always broken, and that was by design. So this company found out, they created a device in the software to be able to tell, to basically combat that, and was going to sell it to franchise owners of McDonald's. McDonald's and Taylor found out, and it was a whole big lawsuit about it, behind it. And I don't know if it's continuing to this day, but this is really updated news about the McDonald's ice cream machine. So come to find out, it was been a repair racket being run by the ice cream machine company Taylor and McDonald's upon the franchise, basically upon franchise owners of McDonald's companies, and that's the reason why the ice cream machines are always broken. And they
Do so
literally,
the so do
yeah,
the are the franchise owners responsible for paying for
Yes.
for buying
yep,
Yes.
see, that makes
yep.
perfect sense.
They have
It's
to
a
have a
it's a
warranty,
it's a
right? They have to have.
contract. Yeah.
Yes, they have it. It's in the contract. You can only buy Taylor's ice cream machine. This is the only ice cream machine you can buy. First off, if you have a McDonald's franchise,
Right.
and then so like during the lawsuit, like McDonald's even sent all franchise owners letters and emails, and there's documentation of this. So I don't give a fuck what anybody wants to fucking dox me on. Go fucking check it.
Right.
Um, you can fucking actually see the documents in the emails that they sent, and they were telling franchise owners that don't use, I can't remember, it's called a script machine, some kind of machine it was called, but the machine would override what the Taylor ice cream machine's computer, and it would tell you on your smartphone what was wrong with the
It
machine
would
and how
run
to
it would
fix
run
it.
diagnostics on the machine, and it
Yes.
would tell you what the codes were and how to fix it. So,
Yes, and how to fix it. Yep. And McDonald's and Taylor obviously weren't having that. They tried to steal the device and the software. Um, they actually had a franchise, one of the dudes who owned like a few hundred or some one of the biggest owners of franchises, of McDonald's franchises, uh, let him in on it. He even went to the trial and got the fucking goddamn fucking device. You know what I mean? And he was supposed to be taking it to other McDonald's and testing the machines with it and shit, and you actually using it, when really they were just trying to back engineer the product, and then they ended up coming out. It's a whole thing like that's going on right now. So it's like it's not a conspiracy theory anymore. And what's
Right.
crazy, this right though, is that the reason why they started doing this is because conspiracy theorists were like, "Hey, why is McDonald's ice cream machines always down?" They use the narrative, they use the conspiracy theorists, what you want to say, the conscious platforms and everything like that to spread that all the machines were broke, so it was just like this big conspiracy theory, when really it was just a fucking repair racket.
Right. McDonald's
So
is notorious for all kind of crazy shit, man.
I know,
Damn.
right? Yeah, I know. So like that shit had me fucked up, because it was like, it was like you thought it was a running joke and a meme and everything for so long that McDonald's ice cream machines don't fucking work, and then you come to find out the truth behind why McDonald's ice cream machines don't work. It's supposed
Well,
to be
that's
that
like
way. Yeah.
the conspiracy theory that the monopoly pieces, um there was some weird shit going on with that, and then you find out like, well, nobody's ever won. It's all fake.
Right.
It's all a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
It never even,
Yep.
you can't win. There's no
Yep.
winner.
There's no
If
winner.
somebody
Yeah.
wins, it's the CEO or some shit.
Just
Like,
another thing to be mindful of, that rabbit holes that I dive down into. You know what I mean? And there's other people, because I can source you all of these people, and it's pretty credible information. I went and backlogged and back checked it. Spent my little free time on my phone figuring out. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching shit and reading documents about how there's a continue ongoing case and shit. You know what I mean, with McDonald's." their ice cream machine maker company and this other company who created a device to fucking fix the machines, fix the
Hmm.
So somebody loved McDonald's ice cream so much that they're like, bro, like I got a machine that could just, you know what I mean, like that could just fix everything for
Yeah,
you.
we're gonna have
And
to
then,
figure this out because I gotta have that McFlurry, boy.
and then McDonald's is so pissed about it because they're, you know what I mean, they're not making they're not making $1 off of it. You know what I mean? Like they're, like I said, they
Hmm.
they emailed those franchise owners and told them that device would make the machine cut on while you were using it, and you could possibly lose your hand. They told um franchise owners that if you do use the device, all of your warranty is null and void on the ice cream machine. They told these people who own these franchises, basically, just fucking shafting them, you know what I mean? Like, and being like, no,
Right.
basically, bitch, you got to call the repairman.
Hmm. We don't
Yep.
want you going outside of what we're doing
Yep.
at all.
But yeah. So yeah, that was one thing though, you know what I mean? Like you can
Well,
jump in
McDonald's,
here anytime
McDonald's is the
with yours.
biggest fucking. Think about it. McDonald's is the biggest chain restaurant in the world. It's got over
Mm-hmm.
40,000 locations, and
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's invented the chicken nugget, the McNugget. I mean, these motherfuckers, bro, like that's how McDonald's blew up. It wasn't off the burgers, it wasn't off the fries. The motherfucking McNugget, the chicken nugget, made McDonald's go crazy because they were in a war with Burger King. And they were like, we got to come up with something, man, that's just going to kill shit. And back then, you couldn't even really get chicken nowhere hardly. If you think about
Right.
what the years that I'm talking about, you couldn't really just order chicken. Like
Yeah.
KFC was like a breakthrough on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, McDonald's is weird, man. But
Yeah, that
hey,
shit
so check it out.
shit is wild.
I wanted to
Another
talk
reason
about
not
this
to buy
whole
McDonald's, basically. I'm sorry, y'all. Another
right.
reason not to buy the shit, basically, is all
Well,
I'm
shit, you could
being
buy you
mindful of.
right.
You can buy the shit
Even the
yourself and make
owners,
it.
even like the biggest owners of stock and or in
Mm-hmm.
the just the company itself, they've said McDonald's is not really too focused on food. We're more focused
Yeah.
on
Well,
location and the
I mean,
real
there's
estate of.
they actually are have recently. Okay, so we remember. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember. There's shows back that we talked about McDonald's, and they were accused of selling human meat. That there were like 12 cases where people were actually trying to sue these cats for selling human meat. Okay, and that's recently been proven that McDonald's has settled some of those. They haven't even
Right.
came out and denied that they're selling human meat ever, and they've already started settling some of those cases. So we already know McDonald's is fucked. Be mindful, be very very mindful, and that was just what I'm getting to. Like if you start that rabbit hole search about McDonald's, even if you start with the ice cream machine, bro, and how innocent that shit might seem, it's a whole fucking, you know what I mean? Like god damn, and then then
Yeah.
if you really got down to like what they're selling people, like yeah, it'd be another, like I said, another reason why you just shouldn't even roll up to that bitch. I mean, they sweet
Yeah.
teas is pretty decent, but god damn.
Yeah, and all that is fucking high fructose corn syrup and some goddamn water with some fake tea
Mm-hmm.
or some shit. I don't even know, bro, because that don't even taste like tea. It's just like sugar
It
water with like
it is,
brown, like
and that
oil.
shit it give you a rush. Like you be like, it's like it
Yeah,
got a little bit of coke or something in that bitch. I swear, give you like a little rush when you drink it. And it, man, it reminds you of some southern shit. But like that's only if you've never had real southern shit. Put it like that.
yeah.
I'm
I was
from the
about to
north,
say
and that's just
because
yeah.
because real sweet tea is not like that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That
I
shit.
know. You know what I mean?
I
Like
mean,
they
you
tried to
can make
mimic
it.
it,
You can make the sweet tea as sweet as you want to, but like
but
that
to a
shit right
nigga
there
in
has just got
Cleveland,
some. Oh yeah, I know. I'm just
yeah, a
saying
nigga in
though, like
Cleveland
the
ain't never been to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, nigga in Cleveland, like, oh yeah, that's the closest to some sweet tea from, straight from Georgia that he might
yeah.
get. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but
Popeyes.
Matt just said, yes,
Popeyes
sir.
is
That man
big
said
too.
he's in the real estate business. They own the land, all the franchises own. Like, yep,
Yeah,
that's really what it was. You right, Matt.
yeah,
And like, damn, like, because like we could have a whole week about just McDonald's, and y'all would be like, because you could even because you could trace back McDonald's. It's all a monopoly. You know what I mean? Like all of it. You could trace McDonald's back to all the people who own all the meat companies, and then you like, oh, everybody's owned by the same motherfuckers, really. That's what's
yeah.
crazy about it, So yeah,
But
what you have for us today? I know you wanted to talk about some shit we can
well,
definitely get
mine.
into.
I mean, it's really not. I guess you could call it deeper, but it doesn't really have to be deeper because it's all about what
Mm,
you believe.
I like that.
Um, so all of a sudden, and I would say I say all of a sudden because I think for the masses, it's becoming all of a sudden. All of a sudden, we've got a big
Yeah,
Middle Eastern situation, and
right.
now it's not just um, the Hamas in Israel thing. It's not just one country or one area. It's multiple. It's pretty much the whole region.
Hmm.
Um, and so, I mean, I just think we need to be mindful of because we don't. I'm not going to tell you what we can or can't believe because I don't know either.
Right, right.
But just to be mindful that maybe not everything is true. I'm not
Right.
saying in one way or another, just in general. Um, the burgeoning regional, and burgeoning means intensifying, picking up speed, whatever. Regional conflict now involves 10 countries:
Right. I like that.
Jordan, Iran, Israel, Syria, Pakistan, the US, the UK, and then Iran's proxies in Iraq.
Hmm.
Proxies meaning, little militias and shit like that.
Right.
They can get people to do stuff, whatever, or terrorist organizations, whatever.
Yeah.
Lebanon, Yemen, and four major terrorist groups: Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and ISIS. Now, all of a sudden, they're involved. Now, all of a sudden,
Yeah. I don't know where they came.
so
They came back in out of nowhere.
that's what the fuck is being said.
Right.
I want us to talk about and just keep in mind that like the area that we're talking about, the borders were created by the Ottoman Empire. So let's just keep
Hmm.
that in mind. Maybe that's why there's a lot of conflict. Who knows, right?
Hmm.
And then there was three service members or military affiliated or military people from the United States killed
Yep.
by
Well,
a
we're
drone.
we are not helping to stabilize that area at all. We are
Hell.
destabilizing it. So
Oh yeah. If you're
if
talking
we
about
want to
we
know
like in
it's
the United
yeah,
States, yeah, you're absolutely
yeah.
right.
So we don't really have to look too far. We know how this goes, where we have our military stationed and what they're up to. So, I mean,
I
it's
think I think it's getting like it's even getting to the point where like the border discussions and shit are happening. Um or have been happening or have been discussed part of it. Like they've even talked about, you know what I mean? Like this shit is even gone to as far as these motherfuckers talking about putting the fucking um the Palestinians on an artificial island outside of fucking
oh my god,
Israel.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
So I
crazy.
mean, yeah, it is
What?
nuts, but
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the United States is not over there doing things
any
in favor
favors,
of
right?
these other people. They're doing
Right.
favors of it for them, for ourselves,
Yeah.
themselves, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Well, you
Um,
Iraq is just waiting to re-release or re-stabilize the dinar, and as soon as they do that, that will shift a lot of things that are currently kind of unsettled and not where they're supposed to be. So,
yeah, and that could be a reason, that all this is
Yeah.
going on. Who knows? Um, so like we hear about all this stuff, and it's like, how do we know?
Right.
Because we don't we can't even go over there. We can't. It's not like we can figure it
Right.
out. We can't really
Right.
find out what's going on. We don't really know. So when we hear CNN and Fox and MSNBC and
Hmm.
ABC and all the places tell us that this stuff's going on, and the reason why we need to go to war is because there's 4 major terrorists. But the thing is this: it's like, who? I'm not even really trying to go to like who's needing help or whatever, but it's like, now the United Nations are going to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you were talking about the grouping and people coming together, not for a good or bad reason, Megawatt, I thought about that because now the United Nations and with the
Well,
United States
it's
and
happening,
allies are
and
going
it's
to go
happening with a
at.
lot of shit though. No, like on the good and bad side, people are getting together.
Oh, I know,
That's
but I'm just
yeah,
saying, just
yeah.
it made me, because I was going to talk about this. It made me think about that now the United Nations, NATO,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to really refer to the war game, of that group or organization, they're about to start, really getting involved with this. And
Yeah.
then there it is again. It's still East
And then
versus
Brits are
West.
talking about, yeah, you're right. And the Brits are talking about, basically, they all but said the word draft, um, citizens to, fight because they don't have enough
Yeah, and you know
military
what? That's
personnel to
weird to
fight.
me too,
And they're
because
trying
like,
to fight Russia for the Ukraine shit. You know what I mean? Like, and then this is all happening at one time. I'm sorry. Go ahead, no.
no, I don't even know oh yeah, I was gonna say like Britain. I mean,
Well, Britain is also
they're
in
not
its
a
own Pluto return right now.
Mm-hmm.
they're not a superpower anymore. So I mean, what the
Right.
fuck does anybody matter what the fuck they're doing or not? Britain's not shit anymore. Like
Right.
Britain ain't
Well,
gonna do anything to anybody.
right.
No, I'm
I'm
not
just
talking about
going
you. I'm
off
just
of,
saying just
yeah, yeah.
how they say it. It's like why do they even tell us about Britain can't, like, and they ain't nothing anyway. They got some technology, but they ain't shit, bro. I
I
mean, come
understand.
on.
No, no,
Britain?
no.
Oh gosh. And I see those things all the time. It's like you said, or like Ireland. Oh, if Ireland's military doesn't, like Ireland's military ain't doing shit anyway.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Or like Australia, like, well, Australia, what are they gonna do, bro? They don't even produce anything. They don't even do anything. What does
Right.
Australia even do? So anyway, when you think about it, what's made in Australia? How did they get money? How does
Uh,
Australia make money? What is
bro,
their GDP? What do they produce that other
that
people
shit just
buy?
fucked my whole vision, my whole view up of
You know what I
Australia,
mean?
bro. I
It's
gotta
like,
recheck myself just now. Like he said, what does Australia do? See, if I meet an
yeah, what the
Australian
fuck do
now,
they
I'm
do?
gonna seem weird. I'm thinking like you're mean. I'm like, no, I just need to know like what do y'all do over
They're
there?
in the entertainment industry. I know
For
that,
sure.
like,
Yeah.
for a big part, but like other than that, like what,
I
Subaru?
understand. I never asked myself
Subaru? I
that
don't even
question.
think
That's why I
Subarus are
laughed.
made in I
Because
don't even think Subarus are made in Australia
when you
anymore.
said that,
That's the
I
only thing
immediately
they
was
had
like,
going for them.
okay, the Japanese guy had the rice and the steel because they were good at making swords and shit. They had
Right?
shit. Okay, Chinese people got
Motherfucker
the
had a boomerang.
manufacturing companies, and you know what I'm saying. And China has this and that. Okay, when you think about China, you think what do they do? And then you think about okay, what do the Netherlands do? Or they got a bunch of farmers over there. Okay, what do they do in Sweden? They got banks over there. You know what I'm saying? What do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, all right, well, damn. Then I'm like, what does Australia do? I'm sorry, it's side topic. You just fucked me up with that. That's
I
all. I just
mean,
never
what,
asked myself
rugby?
that
Like
question.
some rugby
I
and
never asked myself that. That's all.
but it's crazy. And that's a Commonwealth country, which is all a weird situation. But anyway, I just want to get into this Middle East thing. I'm gonna play this song called War by SOTOV, and then we can just talk about it. You know what I mean? But the song
For
is a
sure.
good explanation of the war, not only with a bullet or
What
a
up, boss
bomb,
T, boss player?
but the war that's on your brain, and the war that's for your soul, for your heart, for your energy. That's the biggest thing I believe right now. Is the war is for your energy. It's for your backing, right?
Yeah,
Because if without that, it just won't be as great and it was powerful, and they can't write history as they really truly want to if everybody or a majority or the Bolshevik isn't um
I like that.
aligned with their narrative, you know? And so the war isn't just with a bomb or with a plane or ship, it's for your energy too.
supreme. What are the odds of it? In a place where our wars define what honor is. Every day we having battles with all kind of shit. But it's up inside the mirror where the challenge lives. Face to face with the ruler of our universe. And we can never see she's reflecting all of our inner work. Our intentions should be something other than riches. Our values don't match our value. We live in a contradiction. Listen, we ask for eternity and we got something more. Now we run away from life just to go to war. Embracing all the struggle like it's a distant brother. Not learning there's no struggle if we embrace each other. But this money got y'all acting different. Ain't no activism, cause activists don't act on a common interest. They want you to choose a side. They divide, you get conquered. The winners get the honor of ranking you as a monster. This is war. Yeah, this is war. Yeah, this is war up in your house, war up in your mind. This is war upon your kids, so this is war with all the time. This is war all in your spirit. Can you hear it? Can you feel it? You can smell it through our pores. Our essence is now a weapon for this war.
And while you listen, you could go to thinkhighcrew.com
What up, Cap?
if you want and check out the trending news there. And there's some good things that you can check out and kind of piece together and connect the dots.
Telling us his story, but it's not the truth. Let alone even relevant to me or you. Tell him eat your stardust when you rolling through. Cause his body ain't nothing but a cosmic coupe. And that's the very thing these humans try to hide from you. They don't want you to see the God that lies inside of you. In this information war, we're being lied to. Because there is no Messiah that is provided to you. There is no supreme being that lives outside of self. And if you don't believe me, your denial's felt. So who am I to try to empower the powerless? Cause for the truth I push courage out of a coward's chest. Pull verses from universes to encourage purpose. So every rhyme is like a pregnant virgin birthing diamonds from a lifeless surface. A rising serpent to the eye. Climb that ladder on a spine as we remind the mind that this is war.
So yeah, that's the song, and that's what I feel like is the main reason for all of the headlines is to grab your attention and then take your attention and turn it into the energy they need for your support for the war. And as long as a nation has a big, a mass amount of people that are supporting the war, that means those people are putting money into treasury bonds that support the war. They're putting money into the military industrial complex like Lockheed Martin and places like that that are producing things for war. And so then the nation is making money off of war also.
Right.
And so when it's me versus you, if it's us versus them type mentality, and you get a mass amount of people putting money and power and energy and focus and time into a war, then usually that nation that jumps on board first and the strongest ends up winning the war. And that's how the United States always
Well, a lot of
does. Like,
people
think
don't
about
realize, like,
all the
even before
wars.
we had a what you want to call a banking cartel, technically by definition.
Federal central banking system.
Yep,
Basically, that's I
and
think
the
that'd be the
Federal
easiest.
Reserve, that the Fed, when the Fed jumped in, the Federal Reserve and the federal banking system and that cartel, even before that. So people are like, well, how do we know, how do we have the money to do this and do that, and how do we have the money to go to war, or how we had the money to do anything? Like, they didn't introduce the federal income tax to World War I. Like that, there was no such thing as no federal income tax to World War I. But before then, before these wars, how they got people to pay for shit was, hey, the government would send out letters with bonds on them, and the bonds would say, hey, this is to clean up the streets of your area. If you send us this amount of money, you know what I mean? And if you agree with the bond, then you fucking sent 50 cents or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? You sent your little bit in to the government so they could use that money to fix the
Yeah,
streets
this
in
is
your area.
this is before federal taxes also.
Yes. So this is so
Yeah.
they had to give everybody bonds. So if they wanted when they wanted to go to World War One, they sent out the bonds. The problem was they didn't get everybody was like, no, I'm good. I don't want to pay for that. Everybody, so how else do they get the money? They had to force us to give them the money by introducing a federal income tax. You know what I mean? And then people were like, all right, I get it. That's cool. Because it was supposed to be over with. They were supposed to stop that income tax after the war. But obviously it's been going ever since. So,
Right.
you know what I
And
mean?
probably because we've been in war ever since.
Bingo, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
Yeah, so like that, you're absolutely right. And not only have we been at war for that long, we've been at war with the same motherfucking area that Nova's talking about. The
Yeah.
same Middle Eastern area. It's the same fucking area these wars have been happening. And then you got all these other different factions and in forms of or groups of people involved with it that don't get spoken about. You know what I mean? There's like, and then like when you speak about like our American government and shit like that, like
Yeah.
and then their involvement, and then Israel's involvement in our government, and then you know what I'm saying. If you look at that, and then you look at the regions that are at war, and then you look at who's in charge of other governments, like y'all don't even understand. Like that whole Ukraine government is ran by Nazis.
Yeah.
If
And
you want it, they literally have a political party, and old dude was the leader of that political party. What's the fuck is his name?
Azov.
Yeah, he was the fucking leader of that political party.
Yeah.
I got friends in Sweden. Like I don't talk about shit I don't know. I got friends in Sweden and the Netherlands area, and they fucking tell me flat out that there's a political party that resembles what would it resemble?
Bro, the fucking so their symbol is like the SS symbol. The
Yes.
Nazi SS,
Yes.
their symbol is it's the bold black symbol or logo, whatever you want to call it. It's the same exact.
Right.
They
It is.
literally have that on their shit. So, whatever that means, but they do associate themselves with neo-Nazis. And
Facts.
this ain't just some right-wing conspiracy shit either, punk
No.
boys. This is they show this shit on Vice. And Vice is the
Right.
most left-leaning thing there is. So you can't argue
Yes.
with that. You know what I mean?
No, well, I'm just saying I can't. I got a motherfucker who lives in Sweden, and then a couple other people who stay.
Bro, my wife's got clients
area.
from clients literally from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And they've told us this. And they don't
Yes.
even, I mean, I'm not going to say they don't, but they don't really associate themselves as Ukrainians. They kind of lean more towards Russians.
Yeah, they say we are bro, when they were doing all of those interviews, that's why I was like, man, how come this shit ain't hitting mainstream? Like they were doing, motherfuckers was getting interviewed over there, and they were like, no, like I don't see myself as just Ukrainian. I see myself as a Russian. Like Russia's part of Ukraine.
Right.
I mean,
It would be
part of
like
Russia.
this. It would be like this. It would be like, do you consider yourself from Ohio or do you consider yourself from the United States of America?
Right.
Like, both, bitch. Shit, I'm influenced by both of them. That's what it is with the Ukraine thing, because that land used to be part of the Soviet Union, aka what's now Russia, which everything broke up.
Bro, right.
All
If
that
somebody,
shit.
if some
Ukraine was
motherfuckers
part
came
of it, bro.
through and they took the northeast part of Ohio and they said, oh, well, the northeast part of Ohio is now Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that I wouldn't still call this bitch Ohio? You would still think I would
Right.
identify with Ohio? I wouldn't identify with Ohioans. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Exactly.
shit's wild. You know what I mean? To think that I still wouldn't have that same kind of love, because that's all that really happened. The people who were staying there who had nothing to do with those wars and those conflicts, your country got turned from Russia to Ukraine, and you're just like, all right, whatever. Like you can't do nothing about it.
I'm glad this just got brought up too, because this is still Middle East type shit. It really is.
all of
this
it's
is involved
associated,
in
yo.
this.
Y'all don't get it.
Yeah.
Like Switzerland.
And so
I'm sorry.
think about this, man. When those 2 Malaysian flights that went missing, you remember that shit?
Yeah.
370 and it's like 718 or 718, some
Yeah,
shit like
excuse
that.
me. I
All right,
understand.
so both of them motherfuckers went down where? Over Ukraine. And it was 2014 during what? Their
Right.
revolution. And then they said, who shot him down? That Russians shot him down.
Hmm.
But you could be Russian in Ukraine. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These motherfuckers will tell you this shit, but they play on the stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah, you can
And
be
so they
Russian
slide
and
it in there.
Ukrainian.
And then when you hear Russian, you think, oh, it's Vladimir Putin. And it's
Hmm.
like, I don't know why, but this guy is the fucking devil to the media. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. I've been to
Maybe
Russia
he
before.
just be the motherfucker who just be always fucking not going with the fucking whole fucking plan. Oh shit. Not going
Exactly.
with the, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's
Or
just that, you know.
he's just you have to have a villain if you're going to do all this stuff and be the savior to all the world police. Basically, is what the United States is. Then you're going to have villains to go
Yeah.
after. If not, then what the fuck are you doing? What do you even exist
Yep.
for? If you're the world police and nobody's doing nothing wrong, then what is you think you're gonna get any money to operate? Nah.
Right. Right.
Ain't no taxes no more for that
And I
shit.
think
Get
in
out of
that,
here.
and when it comes to like the Middle East, like I think there's been a lot of difficulty in that area. People want to try to make it more of a religious thing, but I think it's more on the facts like if you have control over that area in general, trade and everything is optimal for whoever has that in control. And I think that that's what a lot of people aren't really seeing. So like all the price rising in the prices of our food and shit. Do you know what our government has recently said that's due to? What did you just say? Who was one of the terrorist groups involved? What they call Houthis? The Houthis?
Yeah, Houthis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So y'all seen that movie? I Am the Captain. What the fuck?
that's them.
Yeah, yeah. What's that fuck with goddamn Tom? Was it
Tom
Hanks?
Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Tom
Yeah.
Hanks.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I am
And
the
that
captain.
Somalian.
Them Somalian pirates.
You know,
Yes, that's what the Houthis are. They're Somalian pirates. So they're saying that the rise in the price of our produce and our foods and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? And products, not just foods, but everything travels through that fucking canal. The Suez Canal. And it just so happened like
more so for Europe
yes,
than the United States. But
yes.
still, I mean, a lot
But
of
but
like
but but
energy,
yes, but Europe,
oil.
but guess what? There's also like internet lines for like the whole world.
Oh yeah, up under the ocean. Yeah.
Up under the ocean. You know what I'm saying? So like the what gives us our quote unquote internet and like, you know, that's all up under there. You know what I mean? And then like that Suez Canal is right there and a lot of shit passes through there. And obviously United States is supposed to be you know what I'm saying? The reason why I like to say this for Britain, right? Normally for Europe, right? That's for Europe. But the reason why the United States is heavily involved is because people still don't understand that the United States is still a property of the crown. But that's a whole nother topic, you know what I mean? But that's why the United States is helping, you know, Europe keep their power over this canal. But that's why also all the prices have gone up. So they're like, oh, we're taking more risks trying to protect you because the Houthis have blockaded shit. And you know what I'm saying? What makes it crazy is just like how Nova said, you know what I mean? Where you have all of these guns, this big police force called the United States military, and these motherfuckers can still do this. Like the Houthis aren't. Yeah, I don't think y'all motherfuckers get it. Like the Houthis aren't fucking like 3 million strong. You see what I'm saying? Like they're not like, and they don't have all
Bro,
the
it's like
technology we have. Like how do they
they're not
how do they
even.
blockade a fucking whole canal?
Bro, the
That
Houthis are like fucking the like a gang out in LA.
yeah,
Like the
yes,
Crips.
yes,
The
yes.
rolling. I mean, goddamn, like,
Yeah,
oh my
I was
god, like come
watching
on,
those things
people.
that you had
Like
that you had
these
sent me
motherfuckers,
about them.
these Houthis are not able to take on a true military.
No, no, they're
They
pirates.
could fuck around and do shit.
The
You know what I'm saying?
cargo
But when it
ships
comes
and shit, yeah, like you
right,
know, because
or they
there's
could,
normally no armed guards and shit on cargo ships and shit like that, and you know what I mean. But like, how are you gonna like you? It's hard to steal a whole ship and get away with it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like because 9 times out of 10, everything that's on that ship is in those cargo containers, and you would have to basically steal the whole ship if cause, to get everything. You know what I mean? To get what you wanted off of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just like, they
I
never
think
really
what they try to
succeed
I
with
think
that
what they
shit.
try to do for the most part is they try to do some type of ransom shit. And
Yeah,
I bet you, I'm not even gonna say nothing because I don't know. Really, I don't, so nobody take me for at heart on this one, but this shit probably happens a lot, and they probably think about it. If these motherfuckers, if somebody didn't succeed and make money, they wouldn't continue to do it.
right.
So I bet you, because I've seen some of those ships, like some of those companies hire security, and they're on there with they like 10 dudes or whatever, and they all got sniper
Yeah,
rifles and shit to keep people away, and they got them big water cannons installed on them ships so they can shoot it at the smaller boats coming at them and all. But like, it's like for the most part, like I bet you a lot more money is made by those quote unquote pirates, Somalian pirates, Houthis, than we think, because or not.
you
And
saying you
this is why I
saying
say
the
that, because how are they getting funded is what I'm about to say. So
right.
either they're doing that and that's how they're getting their
Well,
shit,
that's a
or
good
Iran
question.
or someone like that, or the
Right.
United
That's a
is
good
funding
question.
them.
Well, that's a good question. We don't know who's funding them. Well, I don't know, but
It
if
could
you
be
if you were to
anybody could
listen
be.
to the media, right? If you were listening to the media, who have they been saying has been funding these guys? You know what I mean? They include, you know what I mean, like, people like who they're after now. They're after what, Iraq or Iran? Iran,
Syria
Syria,
again,
you know what I
Syria
mean?
again. All
So
all this went
it
on
says
during Obama.
yeah,
So
Iran's
it's gonna
proxies
be
in
Syria,
Iraq,
yeah,
Lebanon,
Syria,
Yemen,
Iraq, and then
S-
the last place for this whole plan is Iran.
Iran, right? Well,
And
it's gonna trace back to Iran. You know what I mean? That's where the media has been pointing. You know what I mean? They've just been they they use subtle hints. Like they'll say shit like, "Oh, like this: Iran's proxies in Iraq." What the
yeah,
fuck is
or
Iran's proxies? We intercepted Iran's proxies in Iraq, and they had
yeah,
information saying that proving that they were funding the Houthis through Bitcoin.
yeah, I know, right?
You know
It's
what I
so
mean? Like you'll
ridiculous.
hear some stupid shit like that. I'm not
Yeah,
saying like that's what they're saying. I'm saying like I've seen articles that were,
yeah.
that
Or
were.
you got somebody like the senator Lindsey Graham, right?
Hmm.
And he tweets, or not tweets, X's. I don't know what the fuck you even call it now. Tweets sounds so much better, but he'll post something, right? And I saw it. He posted it. It said, "Hit Iran, hit them now, hit them hard." And so, like, you got people in government that are carrying that torch, like you're talking
Yeah.
about too, like the
Well,
media is
they
doing
they
also.
they will find any reason. Like, bro, it's like you being in the class, right? And the one dude that you don't fucking hate is sitting like to the left of you, and so is your best friend, right? And your best friend throws a paper ball at your head, but you pissed off, so you like, oh yeah, I'm about to punch this nigga because you just gonna be like, I'm gonna punch the motherfucker guy I don't like because this is my excuse now. I knew it was him, but your friend was your boy was the one who threw the paper ball. It was just your excuse to be able to punch that motherfucker in the face, and
Exactly.
and that's just exactly what the fuck is happening. You know what I mean? They're like, oh well, it really ain't got shit. And then the people who really suffer is people like us, small businesses and shit like that, because we are getting our shit through that canal, or we are getting, you know what I'm saying, fucking goddamn things that we need, or products being manufactured and made overseas
Right.
and shipped over here. But the bigger businesses like Walmart and all these other places, like they don't ever see, even the ones in Europe and shit, they don't ever really see any too much fucked up shit happening when it comes to that. It's just like it's just all be so convenient. You know what I mean? It just all just
Yeah.
conveniently happens at the same fucking time. You know what I mean? It's just
Well,
so conveniently that the Houthis are on a rampage. Same time
and you got to
ISIS
think
is on a
about
rampage, and
exactly all four of the
Hezbollah, all of them.
major terrorists, like all of them at one time. And that
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so basically what you're doing is you're gonna throw in the whole goddamn kitchen sink. You know what I
Right, and
mean?
they basically screaming at you. You know what I mean? Really, to me they screaming at you do something. Cause then with that kitchen sink, they'll be like, oh, well, Texas and all of this shit that's going on. But then you see people from Texas TikToking in independent journalism and doing their little independent shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're showing that none of the shit that these motherfuckers is talking about is even happening where they're saying it's fucking happening at.
Right.
Like, it's fucking buck
Yeah, I
out.
saw
Like,
that. I'm like, so how in the fuck are they fooling? Because, like, if they could fool that, they could fool
right,
anything. It's like, how in
right.
the fuck are they fooling
So
that?
so
Like,
so
that's
so then
crazy.
are the Houthis really fucking shit up? Are like who? Like I said, you won't ever know like unless we were to be able to ride down to Texas. Like I'm from Ohio, that's what I'm saying. Like I literally had to look.
Unless you take a ship and you ride right past that shit to where it's supposed to be happening,
Right.
you ain't
I
gonna
literally
know.
had to be like, okay, like it's more than likely for me to find out, you know what I mean, somebody riding past that area, you know what I'm saying, in Texas, than for me to find out if the Houthis are really fucking blockading the canal, like they say,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So like, yeah, you're right. I would literally have to fly over there, take pictures of it, and see it for myself. You know what I mean? And I'm sure it's not going to be anything that they've already been portrayed to me. You know what I mean? So just like with the Texas and everything like that, and that. So like at the same
Well,
time, there's
the
there
fucked
there
up part about it is they're telling the whole world
right,
that there was 3 service members of the United States
right,
killed.
yes,
So now what happens?
yeah,
You know what I mean? If the
right.
United States doesn't go over there and cause fucking havoc, then they
I mean,
they've
and
just
then when you
lost their.
have more than one country involved in conflicts, that's the definition of that is world war, right?
Right.
And but nobody has really said that it's world war. Like even though like there's been people who've declared war, like the Yemens and smaller
You know what
countries,
though? Think about this. There's about 30 wars going on right now, and
right,
in the past 15 years, there's probably been about 10 civil wars, major
right,
ones,
yep,
go on, and coup d'etats.
yep,
You know, fuck, bro, all kind of shit. So it's like, have we been in a long ass world war?
yeah, yeah. That's
Or
what
is
I'm
this the
thinking.
build up to it? Or
They
is this is
call
how
them
the fuck it is though? You know what I
they
mean? Like
call them
it could
weird.
be
Like I
any of
said,
it.
they'll say shit like I said, they'll say shit like skirmishes and proxies in altercations. They'll use every other word
In
that
war.
the webs yeah, then war. You know what I mean? But really that's what it really is. You know what I mean? Like it's never not been
And then they
not
always
been
say
war.
something like militia fighters, or they don't never
And I
tie
think
the
and I
actual
think even
country
that
to the, like you
right.
said, they
Yeah.
don't actually say like Iraq is
Right.
or Syria
Right.
is or Iran
Right.
is. They say militias or
Right.
rebels or
Right.
proxies.
Yeah.
That's the new thing.
Ins-
Proxies,
in-
proxies,
insurgents
proxies,
insurgents was
proxies.
the old word. Insurgents.
Yep, terrorists.
These insurgents, like where the fuck is an insurgent from? I like how Cat Williams put that. I've never met an insurgent in my life.
Right?
But then you've never met what's an insurgent? Like no, an
Yep.
insurgent is just
That,
a
that's like
civilian, nigga, basically.
that's like the media, telling you that Russia is just like so ready to kill you and nuke you, and it's like,
Right,
bro, I've been to Russia though.
right. Bro,
I mean, they
I've seen
when I
that nigga
went to
Putin talk, right?
Russia, I was still American.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't
right,
like Russian or something. I was still American. Nothing
yeah,
happened. I didn't get kidnapped. I didn't die. I didn't see
right.
nothing going on. I didn't see nothing happen. And Russia has never told me. Hey, look, think about this. When's the first time Russia had you as a slave?
Right.
Mm.
Hey.
When's the first time Russia called you a nigger? Mm. When's the first time? When's the first
Yep.
time or the last time that my government called me racist for
Right.
being a white male? Oh, a bunch
Right.
of times. How many people's finna get mad because they know I'm a white male and I just said the N word? A bunch of people, and I don't even give a fuck. You know what I mean? So think about like that right there, that mentality of thinking that Putin is really doing something to me when I live in the United States of America. That ain't nobody finna just come
Right.
fucking
Well, I
do
mean,
nut. I
you
mean, you
just
know
got
what
to
I mean?
think
Like it
about it,
just
bro. Like the evidence is there. Like even Putin said himself, he's like, I'm not the one. I don't have missiles and shit outside of the United States pointed at on your
pointed.
doorstep. I don't have missiles over on out on fucking in over
And we,
here
hey, and
by
this is
Alaska,
not
or I don't
this
have
is
missiles
not
over
to
here.
down America.
Nah,
Just wanted to let everybody know that.
nah.
You know, I
This
ain't
is
one
just
of
a
them types.
reality check, though, bro. This
This is
is
the
just being
reality
mindful. This, yeah, being
of the
mindful.
maybe the reason why certain people feel a certain way or
Yeah.
do certain things
But
is
if you
because
look up where, and that's what I'm saying, all you have to do really is just a simple search. You can say, okay, well, if Putin is saying, well, I'm not the one with missiles on your doorstep, but the United States has missiles on everybody else's doorstep. How am I supposed to feel comfortable when they got missiles right here and I don't have missiles? You know what I'm saying? None of my missiles are anywhere near the United States. You know what I mean? And that's wild. So then you go look up military bases in the United States, and you see they do. They have one on everybody's fucking doorstep. There's a base right there to check in every motherfucking super house power.
yeah.
Anybody who's worth something, is worth
Bro, think
checking.
about this. There was
They
over
there's a military
400
base there.
there was over 400 military bases closed down in Afghanistan and over 900 closed down in Iraq. There's
Wow,
still a lot of them over there. But think about that.
900. That's
It,
fucking nuts. The amount of
yeah.
money and personnel you
And
would need.
exactly, bro. Trillions and trillions of dollars. You think
Yeah,
about it. They have motherfucking huts over there with air conditioners running off generators all the time. Like, good Lord. But think about it though. They went over there and they got a lot of oil for free.
yeah. A lot of fucking poppy fields too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. And man, war is where all the money is. And like you said, normally, you know what I'm saying, like back in the day before we had a Fed Reserve and shit, the bonds, the stocks and the bonds would be what they would use, you know what I mean? But now they just take the money from us. But,
Yeah.
there's still bonds that you can still
Oh
like a
yeah,
war's
war
coming and you can
bond.
still, yeah,
Period. That's
you can
basically what
still
it's
bet on.
called.
Basically, it's just like betting on who wins the war. I mean, you can bet on everybody for real.
Mhm.
But I'm sure there's a way to do that.
And
But
then back in the day, and we saw this happen during COVID for the ventilator
right,
situation. But like back in the day, World War One, and then into World War Two, other wars, Vietnam, all these other wars. But I'm just saying, like during World War Two, a whole industry of baseball popped up. Um, During World War One and World War Two era, that it went from all the men going over to fight in a war, and then it was women's baseball, right?
yeah, they made
And then
movies
you
about it.
took and then you took a bunch of people that didn't go to the war and you put them in the Ford factories and they stopped making cars and they were just making bombs and tanks and planes and Jeep was making the Jeeps just for war. And then they were making all kind of shit, big ass trucks and all kind of shit. So uh what makes a country good at war? Is it just how fucking big, how powerful they are, how industrial they are because they can produce enough stuff?
Yeah,
Because that's when
combination of
America
it.
booms the most
Yeah,
economically too,
it does.
is when everything starts producing for war.
Well, and you know what's crazy is that everybody's talking about the dollar crashing and the inflation and everything that's happening, and obviously we can clearly see that there's something going on. But at the same time, like if there's this much war going on amongst especially in that region and amongst everybody else, then if there's that much war going on, then I don't see the United States dollar losing any power because you're not going to switch currency in middle of a fucking war. um and that's just truth. Like, how do you can't be like, you can't go to the guys who sell weapons and be like, yeah, I got this shit, and they're like, no nigga, we take dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna have no weapons. What up, Mup?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So then you're not going to be able to fight a fucking war. So if that's the fucking case, you know what I'm saying? Then the United States kind of has it on the lock. And you know what? Just to go off of how you were saying all of this, just to be mindful of the fact that we don't absolutely know everything that's going on out there, because they're telling us this is what's happening, but it could be something else. You know what I mean? um I like to let people know, like, just on that note as well, like I was doing my research on Texas basically, but I had ended up down a rabbit hole of influencers being paid so much money to say certain things. And I ran into this one influencer that kind of fucking was like kind of made my jaw drop because he was showing evidence that the Democratic Party, wanted to pay him $50,000 to say good things about them. So if you have that happening, you know what I'm saying? Like the amount of information that's being put out there, you know what I'm saying? Like the government can easily pay somebody, a influencer, a TikTok user, a fucking Instagram motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like to do any of this shit. And then you look at Israel and what they were doing. Like I was watching that one Chinese comedian. What the fuck is his name? He's funny as shit. Um, the fuck is his name? Oh no, he's not Chinese. Let me take that back. He's Asian, but he's I think he's Korean or Vietnamese.
You talking about the guy in Hangover and shit?
No, not him. He's like he's a
Mm.
stand-up comic. Fuck, when I remember his name, it'll come to me. You know
Is
you
he
know him.
is he in movies or he's just a
I
stand
think
up
he's been
comic?
in a couple. I think he's been in a couple movies, but he's mainly a stand-up comic. But he ain't been in like no crazy like big. I don't know, like huge films. It's
I
not
don't
the
know.
guy from. I'll show you who I'm talking about. But either way, he said that even himself, like his manager called him and said, "Hey man, there's a free trip to Israel if you want to go." He's like, "For what?" He's like, "You want me to do a show or a show or whatever?" He's like, "No." He's like, "No, we don't. We need you to do a show. Just a free trip to Israel. If you want to go." He's like, "Oh, well, okay, yeah, sure." He's like, so he went, and then when he got there, they're like, "Okay, so every day that you're here, you got to make a positive post about Israel." And he's like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like it's just wild. You know what I mean? To know like when you really get down to it, you don't know what's real and what's not real. You know what I mean? Like some of these influencers, some of these independent, because
The
now the
Orwellian effect.
yeah, now that now that the journalism, and independent research is like something that people do, like, and now it's going to be taught to kids in school on how to identify conspiracy theorists and false information, quote unquote. Like it's literally a huge topic or a huge thing to to try to realize or know or discern between uh what's manipulated information and what isn't. You know what I mean? Because like I said, like that means, you know what I mean, they could pay these actors, these TikTokers, and all of these motherfuckers $50,000 per motherfucking tweet type shit or per post just to say, hey, yeah, um, going all electric cars is what everybody needs to do. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be fucking wild. You know what I mean? Like just and then
Yep.
on top of the war, when it comes to the war and shit, like
And
this is
look,
not
think about
even
it. An
yeah.
influencer that's made it to the level to where somebody's going to send him some major money
Bruh,
to make some major posts and major influence in this world.
bruh.
They already sold their self, bro.
3 million
It,
followers
it
he
ain't.
had, right?
Think about it. It ain't nothing about. Oh well, are they gonna really do it or not? Though I mean,
Well,
what if they
he didn't
don't
deny,
like?
he denied nor, confirmed if he took it
Right.
or
That's
not.
what it's. I mean, come on. Like, think about it. Like,
What
because
up,
all
bro?
right, think about what you got to do to be able to be a successful influencer to the point to where you can pay your bills and live a life
Yeah.
from doing
He
that.
said
So that
he's done
means
ads for
you.
like, for other people, other companies, and they're like he's like the most they pay, he's like on my account where I have like 3 million followers, the most that they've ever paid was like 3 grand, 4 grand, maybe 5, you know what I mean? He's like he said this is what he said. He said I wanted to see exactly how much they would give me. And they said, well, they told him, well, we just want you to say good things about the Democratic Party. And he was like, well, I'm not really political at all. He's like, I just, like to speak the facts. And they're like, well, we understand that, but how much would it take? And he was like, 50 grand. And they were like, sure thing.
Right, you should have said a motherfucking 500,000.
I'd have been like 3 million, nigga.
A motherfucking dollar per follower. How
A
about that?
dollar per motherfucking letter.
Right.
a dollar per syllable, I have to say. And I'll write a fucking yeah, come on, bro. Like that shit's just wild though. So like if they got the game on lock like that, where like even independent journalism is gonna be corrupted, You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be really, 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 really hard to discern what is the truth. That
Yeah.
means they could
And
really
then
be
and
having a
then
war and it not
and-
really even be a war. Like people really aren't dying, but they could be showing us like, oh yeah, people are dying, but like nobody's really dying. But they're just doing that to keep us in a state of fear and and spending money in
right.
places where we don't need to spend it.
Because I mean, because we could say the same thing. We could say, or same thing, different
Right.
perspective. We could say, well, they are getting killed, but you know
Right.
what? They're still using that to make you want to go to war.
Yeah.
It don't matter if they're actually getting killed or not, because they might be using, like you said, they might be using footage from. Because I've seen a
Yes.
lot of this Ukraine shit,
Yeah.
bro. I've seen a lot of footage from like 2009, 10, up to 2014-ish that they've used on these videos and stuff to make you think that that's what's going on right now, and Russia's the one doing it, and blah
Bro,
blah
I see
blah.
so
But they had a
many.
civil war though.
Yeah.
They had a civil war between themselves, and it was the motherfucking Azov motherfucking Nazi battalion, Azov
Yep.
battalion, right, versus like all these militia type motherfuckers. And then there was the main government involved with it too, but the Azovs kind of like had the military part of the government, so that's why there was like a lot of militias, or just like, I guess you would say, people like us, just like, fuck you, we ain't finna back down, whatever. And so you got all that going on, and there was cell phones out then, iPhones was out, Androids was out
Right.
then. People got the footage and sold it to the motherfucking media companies. We know this happens too, and then they take it a couple years later and they run it, or whatever they want to do with it. So
Right. Well, now with AI and shit, they can alter probably a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying?
well, everybody just saw Taylor Swift half naked or naked, and it was an AI that did it. You know what I'm saying? And the guy that was responsible for it, they put his full name out, bro. You know his life's over with now. Them Swifties finna drive him insane. He ain't gonna be able to do nothing, bro.
Yeah, he
Telling
ain't.
you,
They gonna cancel that motherfucker.
he might as well just cancel himself. Shit, not in the suicide way, but just like cancel his whole name and get a new name and everything, because he's done with if he stays the same.
Yeah, and that's fucked.
Unless he can figure a way to spin that shit.
And that's fucked up for real, because like, how many motherfuckers have done some weird shit like that with AI programming? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, how many times have we watched a speech and it be created by AI and we didn't
Nigga.
know it? How many times have we read a speech? How many times have we heard the news? How many times have we seen a tweet or a Facebook post or a TikTok situation or what the fuck ever you want to call it, man? How many times has decisions been made about the weather, about economic situations, about what to do in a pandemic or anything like that? How many times have those situations been made by AI that we never even knew about? Because
Man,
it
that's a
didn't start
wild
with
question.
Chat GTP. I promise you, it
Mhm.
didn't start with Chat GTP. God dang, man. So, bro, if people knew what we know about the markets and how these trading bots do and all this shit, like, it's ridiculous to know that like we are going to the next level in AI to where people
Yeah.
know about it and accept it and start knowingly use it.
Well,
Holy shit. And you see what happens? Taylor Swift ends up
Yeah.
naked all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, but she had an ass, and we know damn well Taylor ain't got no ass.
That's what my wife said. I showed that shit to her. She was like, "Yeah, but Taylor Swift ain't got no ass like that." I was like, "I know it's AI." She's like, "I know, but still."
Right, you could immediately know that shit was AI. Like, oh yeah, they faked the funk on that one. But nah, but like it does. It makes you question all of it. I mean, and to me, when I was looking at, like I said, I was looking into Texas. You know what I mean? So like, I was looking into Texas? I was looking into like the last time, like the country was like, like any state was like in federal, like was going back and forth at it. Like when's the last time? But then like you start to realize like all of this shit's a war, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like what's
Yep.
so crazy is like even that, like they've been doing that shit. What up, like, Bright? They've been doing that shit for a minute, man. Like states have been fighting the federal government for a long time.
Yup.
This ain't nothing motherfucking new.
This ain't nothing motherfucking new. At all.
It ain't, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Then you're
man.
like, damn, like you said, has it been like just like a secret war this whole fucking time? Like, do our fucking senators and what you want to call Senate and congressmen and all of that shit? Do they are there really just a few of them? I mean, we know that 95% of them get paid by their well, I guess you want to say an American and Israeli APAC. They both get paid by that. Well, 95% of them do. So there's 5% of them who actually give a fuck about maybe the people and doing the actual job that they were hired to fucking do. And maybe you would say, there's 5% of them that's not corrupt.
Yeah.
So I mean,
And
maybe
and
maybe
that's
maybe
just
that's
and that's just a guess also.
yeah, it is. That's just a guess.
See
You know what I mean?
that's the great thing about what we're doing here on this mobcast is we just talk about the stuff that people really do get scared about talking about. Like
Yeah.
people don't want to admit that they don't know. It's okay to just not know, but you don't have to be
Yeah.
scared about it either. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
not at all.
And
Well, you're supposed to have these kind of conversations and ask yourself these kind of questions. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
because what is it going to be for my children? You know what I mean? Like, so you're telling me that states and federal government have been. I mean, because come on, cannabis is legal only on state level. Like federally, it's still a fucking schedule under plutonium type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, um, there's a conspiracy theory behind that though, that they say that it's because it blocks all of the fuck. They say THC blocks the fucking fucks up the programming that they try to give to you. But that's a whole nother topic. But because they fought with cannabis, they fought with a lot of shit. The states have fought against the federal government, and the same time, the federal government's doing this police thing all over the fucking all over the fucking world, and we all think it's a to keep us safe. You know what I mean? And from people who
Right.
want to from people who want to fuck us up. But then you come to find out why they want to fuck us. It's like why they want to fuck us up. Well, that's because our asses was over there doing the same thing that like police do to motherfuckers here, like literally. You know what I mean? Like kind of basically. You know what I'm saying?
And no and being nosy as fuck.
Yeah. And a lot of these countries be like, oh, we're third world countries. We got it bad. You have no idea what it's like. And I'm like, y'all think that we don't know what it's like? Like we live in America where a lot of us are oppressed more than they're up. You know what I'm saying? And even if they're up, they're still oppressed because how much more up everybody would be if our government didn't do what the fuck they did, including the people, everybody else around the world.
Yep.
How much more up everything would be. Like everything would be up. Like everybody be having
Yeah.
like it was a time and
Because
place for that. Because if y'all look at the 50s and 60s when fucking rich people had to fucking pay all of this fucking money in taxes, guess how booming the fucking United States was. Fucking on fire, man. Like it was just there. You know what I mean? And the rich people were like, all right, fine, we'll pay our fair share or whatever. And
yeah,
it
because at that time it was like, they had everybody thinking it was do or die.
yeah.
And it really was at that
It,
point. America wasn't as advanced as they are now.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So America didn't have motherfucking bases in 80 different countries around the
Nope.
world and could just touch you from anywhere.
Yep.
They were just based out of, United States, the
It was
region, and they
yeah.
had allies, but they weren't all over the place.
Well, that's because this is how you know that they know exactly what they can and should do to make this whole world a better world. Because before they started, just relying on the warmongering efforts, and we had an actual constitutional republic, you know what I mean, where people decided, where the people had the power and the government was smaller, you know what I mean? It worked. It fucking worked.
Yep.
Nobody can't say it didn't work because that's why
That's
United
why
States
United
ended up
States got to where it was, because it worked.
exactly because it fucking worked. But then when it was like, okay, after we know that it's like getting greedy. It's like you going to the slots or some shit and you hitting that shit a couple times. You like, oh yeah, you got it down. You know the algorithm. You rolling 7 and 11s right out the gate, bang bang bang. But then you win all this money. But then you like, all right. Then you get greedy. You know what I mean? And you keep winning, you get a little more greedy, and you keep winning, you keep winning. Now you got so much money that you got fucking big ass dudes with big ass guns surrounding the table to guard you and make sure nothing happened to you. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
then you lose a bunch of fucking money, and then everybody let you borrow money because they know you good for it, or they're just scared of those guys with the big fucking guns.
Exactly.
So it's just like that, you know what I mean? And them motherfuckers been them motherfuckers been playing that motherfucking game forever, you know, like forever. I'm gonna get me.
Yeah. And it's still the same game. They just flip it a little bit to the left, a little bit to the
Yeah, it
right,
all
a
depends on
little
who
bit
they
to the
dealing with,
left, a little bit to the right.
what type of people they dealing with, because they figured out over there in the Middle East, these motherfuckers don't play that. They blow their whole self up to kill you. Like they're not about to
Yeah.
play this.
Well,
They're not
like
about to.
that's like the Japanese, bro. The
Yeah,
Japanese, man, they was doing them damn suicide bombs. They
bro.
they the ones that invented it. I think the
Yeah, I
Middle
feel you.
East took it from them. Shit. You know what I mean? They took the whole plane and said, "Yeah, bam,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
into you."
yeah.
Golly, that
So it's
hey, and you
like
can't stop somebody that ain't scared to die, bro. That's
die.
what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, you know,
um, yeah, it's a
it's the
major situation over there in the Middle East.
it
And the
is
thing is like, all right, so check it out. If the United States didn't get involved, then you would have Saudi Arabia, you would have Israel versus the whole thing. So Saudi Arabia is the oil. So what is Israel to the United States? Just in not I'm talking about not personally or not anything like that. I'm talking about just you talking about a corporation and a
right,
corporation basically.
right.
You know, what does this corporation get from this corporation? So Saudi Arabia
He has
gets
oil,
protection
right?
from the United States, um, and training, etc., on how to do all this military
Technology, yeah,
operation stuff and the drilling, all that shit. You know what I mean? And then they provide a good, probably a good price on the oil for certain companies in the United States, like
right.
Exxon, you know, Chevron, Shell, whatever you want to do, go down the list. But what does Israel produce though? So Saudi Arabia, bam, what do they produce? Oil. Bam. What does Israel produce? Just like Australia, what do they
What do
produce?
they
You know what I
do,
mean?
right?
What's Israel
See,
produce?
so you know what? I
I
was
don't.
listening to a guy speak about this, right? And he was saying like, he's like Rome. He was talking about Rome didn't fall. People are like, what? Like, and this is what made me think about this too. He's like, Rome didn't fall. It just transformed into a church. I was like, oh shit. And they still been in charge, basically. You know what I'm saying? But just
Yep.
on the religious aspect side. You know what I'm saying? So you got the church, then you got the banks, you know what I mean? You got
Yep.
and then you got the fucking oil, right? And then you got the arms, the guns, which is the United States and shit like that. Um, but what was crazy about what you were saying, goddamn, um, damn it, I had a second point, but I just fucking blanked out.
About Israel, what they produce.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say it's kind of similar to Rome. I think like they're trying to convert that into their spiritual thing, because most of the people who run that those I'm not even gonna say Jewish people. You know, I'd rather say Zionists, because they've all claimed this to be Zionist. This is all on record. There's nothing like I'm lying or or an opinion. It's a fact. So I would say the Zionists in control in those countries believe that they're descendants of Nimrod, and that's that's their supposed holy land type shit. You know what I mean? And if they were going based off of Judaism, they wouldn't be doing this until Christ came back. So maybe Christ is back. I don't know, but you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like they've done, or
If he
maybe Christ
is,
came
if
back
he
back
is,
then, right?
if he is, I already know. Um, we already know what he looks like. We didn't seen a bunch of pictures of him, and nobody ain't identified. It must not look like that.
But no, it's for real. You know, that's why you got a lot of, you know, that's why you got the conflict between the, you know, the ancient, or you want to say the Orthodox Judaisms, and then this Zionistic, you know, Christian Judaic kind of
Yeah,
belief structure.
that's a good point that T just said. She said Christ consciousness. So that, that's a thing, man. Like maybe Christ didn't come
When they
down as
started this war, when after World War II, right? They took the Jews and they put them, you know, over in Israel after they figured out what to do with them and shit like that. But it was a few years after that though, right? So I mean, like that's when supposedly their Christ fucking touchdown or the Christ consciousness. Maybe we could do some research about that when it comes to when did that type of thing spark. You know what I mean? Like when was
yeah,
the
and
spark for
also
that?
like when did people start talking about even the term and the I guess the philosophy and the idea behind Christ consciousness? You know what
Yeah,
I
I mean
mean? And
because
when did it become
it
when did it become like, oh no, it's not actually Christ? Because I'm not down on
mhm,
nobody. I'm just saying, when did it become to some people, when did it become, oh, it's not Jesus Christ really coming back.
right.
It's the people feeling it in their consciousness.
Well, I like it because it takes what they've made external and put it back inside of you.
Right.
That's why I like that kind of belief system because
Right.
it's like, okay,
Because
it's
you're
not
really not
saying that.
searching for
Right, right. You're looking
anything. It's
within.
just,
Right. If you
yeah.
are, you're going inside. Because if the Christ conscious is within, you know, they say, you know, climbing the 33 vertebrae. That's why you have 33 vertebrae in your spine. And then you sit in the crown and you sit in the throne, in the throne on the crown, in the crown chakra, your pineal gland, and like all of it, like how they explain it as it being, you know, basically an awakening of your mind. Is that's what the coming of Christ is, and that means that Christ will come to everybody, but it would depends on you. You see what I mean?
Right.
So like that would make all of the stories make sense. It would make everything make sense. It would make everything if you because that basically puts you in as Christ. Right. So if you're reading that story, if you're reading that book, the Holy Bible, and you're reading the New Testament and you read it from a first person perspective, like you're Christ, like this is a story about you, it is just you're explaining your journey from the root chakra being primal, coming through birth. You know what I mean? And well, Christ was actually, you know, he's a whole nother story. You could say
Right.
he was birthed from not the root up, but the fucking crown down. You know what I'm saying? Like he was
Hmm.
almost backwards birth. But yeah, to put it in that perspective is a dope perspective because like it just takes what they made. They made God external. You know what I mean? Now it makes God now it puts God back inside of you, saying that you know the Christ consciousness is really what that is. But so now you have a group of individuals who are taking over that particular area where you know Jerusalem and all of that shit is at. You know what I mean? And they've called it Israel, based off of the book of the Bible and the Torah, which is the first five. Like, see, a lot of people don't know that too. Fact check me if I'm wrong, but the Torah is just the Old Testament, and nobody really knows that.
Yeah.
No,
And
they
it's
think the
also,
Torahs are just a different book with like, you know what I mean, like actual different words and shit. But
I think it's also, I think I'm pretty, I think I'm right. I think I'm right. I think it's the first five or first 5 to 7
yeah, yep. The
books out
first
of the
5 to 7.
Hebrew.
I think the last book is like Deuteronomy. It covers or something, but it's like from like what is the first book?
Of,
Genesis to
yeah.
like Deuteronomy. I don't know. Something. It's like yeah, it's like the first 7. You know, so it has like Genesis,
Hmm.
Exodus, has all of that shit in it, and it's all the same characters and everything too. So like a lot of people don't realize that. So like
And
if
like
that's what the Torah
Revelations
is,
ain't in there. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
All
Revelations
the
ain't in there.
scary. So it's
Well,
weird.
God was scared. God was pretty scary, motherfucking in that the first God. You know what I mean? He was.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he
Jesus
was.
made him soft after that, but yeah, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying. Like God was definitely, he was more revered. You know what I mean? And then like if that was the God, if that's the original God, then everybody fucked because
Yeah.
ain't
And then what
nobody.
about this, though? What about instead of only only realizing that the Bible has been tinkered around with and things being taken out, what about things being put in
Mm-hmm. Yep.
also? You know what I mean? That
Had to. It's a duality, you know.
because I mean everybody's always talking about, well, you know, the book of Enoch or this book or this book or this or Apostle Paul, all this is taken out. All right, yeah, I mean, but what about all the stuff that's been put in there that wasn't even true though?
Mm-hmm. A lot.
Because I mean, like I don't mean to like sound like the bad guy or nothing, but if we think that humans have been able to keep one book true for all of these years, I think we're crazy.
Nigga, I knew that shit started lying. Listen, bro. When something goes completely against nature, it
That's that. Okay, well, I got something after you say that.
yeah, no, think
Completely
about it.
against nature.
Yeah, no, no.
That means there's a revolution that has to come a little
Yeah,
bit
I mean, you just
later.
so like think about it.
Because
So like,
if
let's say,
everything is against nature, then it's gonna buck that.
right, check. When have we ever seen a woman born from a man or a woman created from a man? Like it doesn't like everything comes out of
Or
the
a
womb.
woman just getting
Because like they
pregnant
say,
without doing
God made
anything.
Adam out of Eve, but how come if God made God made Eve out of Adam's rib, or if God made people don't know about Lilith, if God made Lilith from the same dirt that He made fucking Adam or clay at that time, depending on or Torah, whatever the book you fucking want to read, clay, dirt, whatever the fuck, He made Lilith and Adam first out of the same dirt supposedly. Um, if that's the fucking case, then how the fuck? How the fuck does everything come out of a woman's vagina then?
Right, if it never even started there.
Right. You know what I mean? Like so like like
But
everything nature
then
shows
but
us.
then
Nature
why is
shows
it
us
why is it that uh the first that we know of is a black woman from Africa?
why. Yeah.
Yeah, Lucy,
Yeah,
right? Or
supposedly, but
whatever.
then you find out even some people say that those bones are hominid bones, that ain't no human
That ain't
fucking
even a
bone.
human
That ain't
race.
fucking human bone. Like goddamn, like them is fucking hominoid bones that the motherfuckers found and put together. Them ain't
Might as
fucking
well be a dinosaur.
right.
Honestly.
Yeah. It's something we ain't never seen.
I mean, think about it. A hominoid is not a human. So why would we think that it's any closer to us than a dinosaur?
Right.
Or a monkey
Right.
or anything like that.
Hominoid,
So you know what I
hominid,
mean?
you know?
Just because it's close, that don't mean shit.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
hominoid,
Like
if y'all don't know, will be technically Bigfoot.
there's a lot of things that are one molecule away from being
You
something
goddamn
else.
right.
So
Yeah, part hominoid, part alien. I don't see why that wouldn't be feasible. I mean, just how we're talking about with if you trace all of this shit and like this just stems off the fact that Nova asked,
well,
well, what the fuck is Israel do? Like, what are they doing? What is their part in this war? And I was just kind of saying they're kind of playing the transformation from the United States corporation into this United States of Israel Church of Nimrod. You know what I mean? So like
right
it's like almost like they're changing from an empire or a corporation into a church.
into a non-taxable
Yeah, and then
non-taxable
and then you hear you
organization.
got you got you know what I mean. So to get into that, like you were saying, like it is possible though, because if that's the case though, if we are part hominoid and part alien, then there's so much fucking nothing that Israel or anybody else is doing on that point would even matter anymore. You know what I mean? Like, how do you fight
Mhm.
that? Now it's like, okay, now all of the stories that you're telling us, about Jesus and all of this shit, and the reason why, and it's like I said, it goes even back to Nimrod, because Nimrod was before Jesus. So let's just
Well,
stay in
and
that realm.
if you want to talk about a hominoid part alien, you could say that that started with something called the stoned ape theory.
Yeah, they would say that
I don't know if anybody, I don't know if
Terrence
anybody's
McKenna.
heard of that or if they're they're familiar with that. The stoned ape theory. So basically, it's like an ape finds some mushrooms underneath some cow dung, eats it, and almost probably goes through like some Christ consciousness shit, right? They become extremely smart.
To this riddle, where did human consciousness come from? It begins like this.
Yeah. Watching the stars when I blaze, fly through the stargates, see places and creatures so alien I can't explain it. Came down from the trees and we conquered the plains. Psilocybin evolving our brains, transcending our basic understanding our communication. In the outer space, I finally found my place. I know they call me crazy, calling it a phase. I feel the growing pace, I know in places. I have awakened the knowledge of spitting, forbidden, so ancient. I do not cater to haters and fakes and logos. The flow that I'm spitting is sacred. I'm the creator. They can't keep up with my pace. The shit that I'm making, awaken the human race. Spit in these frames, trippy all day, every day. I'm tated. If you're lacking the patience to achieve elevation through meditation, use medication, exit the matrix, download information. I'm seeing traces, visual latency. I stay connected interdimensionally, logos like Hades, and keep Persephone. 10,000 years from now, they will still mention me.
This mushroom was the triggering factor that moved us from being an advanced hominid, an advanced animal, to being in fact a conscious, self-reflecting, caring, thinking, dreaming, striving human being.
I remember I was just an ape, smartest creature in the jungle scape. Running, jumping, never was awake. As our numbers grew, we grew underweight. We don't hunt for prey, we just hungry monkeys that got really lucky on one summer day. When I lifted up a piece of cow dung, that's when I discovered where the fungus lay. Then I munched away, kept on eating cause I loved the taste. All of a sudden I was up in space. Came down as another race with a colored face. From a hominid to a hominoid to an ayahuasca where the shamans live. Architecture of the monoliths, writing books, building colleges, technological accomplishments, all the painting that the artist did, all the knowledge of the Kabbalists, all the data in the quantum chips, all the Catholic and Islamic scripts, all the monsters in the horror flicks, all the music logo Wada did, psilocybin sparked all of this.
We became human beings. Theater, poetry, magic, art, altruism, dance, symbolic and cognitive activity of every sort was born in that window of opportunity.
Stone sand, great ape smoking great babe up in outer space with the gods. Remove the facade, creating is all of the odds. I'm looking at life through the eyes of the source. My origin born and powers align with the force, shaping reality ever so magically. Damages all in my faculty, whipping a masterpiece. Hope you got time to let me in your mind. Psilocybin can drive, connect through Akashic, drop love on the dime. What you feel is divine. Open the portal, release the immortal, drop blessings right out of the wormhole. We are so infinite, penmanship sharper than you had envisioned it, cutting through layers of censorship. This is that wrong, death is not imminent, so when it comes time to finish it, this will be nothing at all. Jumping through seasons, they wait for our fall. Prisons on prisms, they trapping our thought. Oh, how our feelings are bought. Oh, how the hatred is scarred. Oh, now the truths in my sauce. Dripping his magical presence, more than a reference. We are reflection, reflecting this valuable lesson. Leaving them nothing to question, only the essence of godly intentions that bring us together through something we missing. Combining our powers to be something different. Telling these artists, but nobody's getting. Knowledge is deep, but none is forbidden.
Ain't no forbidden knowledge, huh? Ain't no forbidden knowledge. Knowledge ain't motherfucking forbidden. Go get it.
Hey, so throughout churches, cathedrals, mosques, we're all kind of made to think that all of this stuff is outside of us.
Yeah.
And we're made to think that like all of it was controlled by this person or this God that did everything perfectly.
Mhm.
But what if, I'm just introducing an idea. What if an ape did find a mushroom
That'd be
and
crazy.
ate it and did it enough to the point that all the other apes started doing it and they learned, or that was Christ's consciousness.
Hey, that, it's
and
maybe
as a community they became smarter and they
right.
developed different types of emotions towards people,
Hmm.
and over I don't know how many years, could be millions, whatever,
Right.
that we really did come from this thing that was walking around grunting and shit to doing this what we're doing right now. Because I mean, if you think that sounds any more crazy than a woman getting pregnant to by the Trinity, I mean, I
I
don't
would
know,
have
man.
left if I was Joseph. I don't know. She wouldn't have. She would have like, "This is God's baby." I'd have been like, "Bitch, I'm out.
Like
You
who?
cheated on me, ho.
Right, and
You
they ain't have no
cheated on me."
DNA test back then, so
Right.
he couldn't
Ain't
even
no
figure it
fucking
out.
way. And Joseph just
Mm.
stayed because he just had to. He just knew it was the son. No, Joseph would have been like, "All right, bitch, kick rocks." You know what I'm saying? Or she might have been stoned to death, nigga. Like that type of
Stone
shit.
her.
Right, that type of
It
shit
would
was
have been. Look
against the
at think about it. Hey, if we go by the Me Too movement, women didn't have any fucking rights back then. She would have been stoned. There would have not been allowed. A woman would not have been allowed to have a
They said
baby
that they
by
had to
herself.
flee.
They would have stoned
Look,
her and
they said
called
they
her a
had to flee
witch.
where they was at, right? Well, they said they had to flee where they was at because they was afraid that somebody would try to kill the birth of the king. You know what I'm saying, right? But maybe it was
And you know what?
because she did cheat and she did
And
motherfucking, it was
yeah,
adultery. And like, maybe
well,
she
that's
had to get up out of there because, you know what I mean? They was going to stone her ass for that because Joseph knows that it wasn't his baby and everybody was like, oh, so it's not yours. Well, then the bitch need to die because she, you know what I mean?
stoned
Like,
her.
hey, but you're right. That's a good. I say that it's not, and it's not as crazy as to think that we were fucking a splice species from a ancient alien race. Like
Mm-mm.
that's just as crazy as
And it's
fucking
not. And also it's not. It's not crazy to think that we just live forever.
that too. That too. It's not crazy to
Because you
think
know
that this
what?
is just a
Until you
fucking
die,
day.
until you die, you're living forever. And until you get proved wrong, you're living forever. So,
I mean,
but hey,
but even after that though, right? Like who
right?
knows?
Yeah, who are you dead then? What do you? What is that?
I
What
mean,
does that even mean? You
death
know what I
only
mean?
means to separate if you go by the
Right.
definition they give us. So I mean, shit, ain't no. See, this one dude put it like this. He's like, he said, we will always exist because something that exists can never be non-existence because the purpose of its existence or its property is to exist.
Exist. That's the whole
That
reason of life in general is
right?
to
That's
exist.
yes.
That's
So it's
why,
like,
like an ape.
woo,
That's why an ape could have
yeah.
dug in some cow shit or elephant shit or whatever, dinosaur shit, and
And
found some
picture how
some
strong
super
that
duper.
motherfucking shrooms were coming out of
Right?
fucking
Bam.
Triceratops.
That's what I'm saying. Like you cannot rule anything out because
I know,
what
right?
if them shrooms was that one that was like, oh, you finna teach
Yeah.
you how to be more humanistic.
Who knows?
You know
You're
what I
right.
mean?
You're right. And then, hey,
Oh
all
man.
of it could be true, nigga. Nigga, the fucking apes could have
Yep.
ate the fucking goddamn shit. Then the aliens could have came down and
Came
experimented on
down.
their ass.
And and she could have got pregnant
right.
by herself just
Yeah,
by herself.
the spirit. They look. If you read about Adam and Adepa, then you can know about some shit because they try to talk. They try to try to tell us, or there's information about the Adam and Eve before Adam and Eve per se. I
Yeah.
mean, and whether you want to take it as God created them or an alien species,
It was
or
a practice run.
practice runs. There's a few practice runs that happen.
Motherfucker had a
Supposedly,
practice run. Like
and
of
they
course
said
he
that
did. Of course he did it perfect. The motherfucker
the first
practiced a
Eve.
bunch.
They said the first Eve can get pregnant on thought, nigga. She didn't even need She didn't even need her.
Wow.
The first
That's
Eve didn't even
manifestation
need
right
none.
there.
Yeah, so it's like
It's
hey,
155 up in this thing. We've been going for 1 hour and 55 minutes. Just wanted to say that because somebody in here is obsessed with 55.
T222. Let's fucking go. But yeah, guys, I want to thank y'all once again for showing up for another Mindset Mindfulness Monday. I think we about to fade out here. Probably got about 5 more minutes left in the show. I know Nova wanted to play another cut. But before
Yeah.
you do that, no, I just want to tell everybody go ahead and visit us at thinkhighcrew.com. I was able to get that switched from thinkhighshop.com. So if you were visiting thinkhighshop.com and you're probably like, oh shit, what the fuck happened? No, we're still here. It's just thinkhighcrew.com. And go ahead and sign up for that. Excuse me, be a part of the mailing list. We have a forum. We kind of have our own little social media thing getting cracked off in there as well. We'll be taking suggestions on what to do for shows and whatnot. But this Friday, you might not have any new music this Friday either. I've been really working hard on trying to have multiple layers of content for each song I release. We might take it down to 2 songs a month, but in the meantime, we'll be producing hella content for each song. Just experimenting with how we fucking do shit. Get more time for THC and the show and shit. Because that's all I've been doing is fucking recording to try to. That's just hard work, bro. I try to have a song ready every week.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
Especially when you do a 2-hour podcast every day. Mobcast.
Right, then you got
You know what I
kids,
mean?
and then you got another businesses to run, and just like you,
Oh.
though. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be like
Hey.
Nova when I grow up.
Puh, don't do that. This motherfucker still ain't gonna. I ain't growing up. Fuck that, man.
He said he Peter
Well,
Pan, this bitch. He said, nigga, I
Well,
ain't
you
growing
know,
up.
when you grow up,
Rufio,
you
Rufio.
got to take on a new identity when you're supposedly grown.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm
I
not
think that's
gonna
what makes
be
everybody
doing this to-
depressed. Like Jim Carrey would say, he was like, man, everybody's depressed because that's you. That's the real you telling that I'm tired. I need a deep rest from playing this character that you want me to be.
right.
He
I
makes a lot of
would
sense.
rather. I know I'm not the most positive person ever, but I would rather live my life loud and obnoxious and
I'm
living
with you.
fucking life than being scared of what's coming tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the way that the chips fall. I hope you was betting on me. I've been all in since the windfall. Watching the L coming streaks. Never gave up on the old me. Been rapping so long, now I'm OG. Supreme of the valley, that's word of the adage. Just at me if you want the whole thing. And it's on me. I don't like the cap. I don't ever rap what I don't live. Keep the hood on tap. And it's a fact. We're only a fraction of my wrist. See, I'm built like that. I don't want it all. I just want to ball with my bros. Give it all to the kids when we go. And let them know that your favorite rapper is a lie. Yeah. Fuck what they talking, been telling you why. Yeah. You thought they was real? Open your eye. Yeah. This shit's not a game, we tryna survive. In a world where music is God. Your favorite rapper is a lie. Yeah. Fuck what they talking, been telling you why. Yeah. You thought they was real? Open your eye. Yeah. This shit's not a game, we tryna survive. In a world where music is God. Your favorite rapper is a lie.
Yeah, might see me walking down Erie at midnight. We ain't the same on the inside. Black sheep, nigga still ball like he's 6'5". Still put your bitch in the 6'9". I was on ice, pushing that weight up an incline. Nigga had life, all in the back of that Nissan. Fuck is you talking about? We made a way when Wall Street had us on decline.
Hey, we will be back tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live for Fuck Around Find Out Tuesday. Like Jason said, go check out thinkhighcrew.com. Think about some drip, some merch, some songs, some supplements, some gummies, some Delta 9 gummies, some CBD salve, or just some cool articles. Check out the forum. And you can fuck around and find out what we're talking about.
Yeah, you thought they was real? Open your eye. Yeah, this shit's not a game, we tryna survive. In a world where music is God, your favorite rapper is a lie.